Vertical Toast.
Are you ready to make some crazy money? Well, too bad this isn't Crazy Taxi, but it might be even crazier. Welcome to MiLE High Taxi. Take a shot every time I say the word taxi in this review, and you will be well beyond the legal limit in no time. This little title is exactly what you think it is, a crazy taxi-like, if you'll allow me to create my own genre here for a moment, but with a vertical twist. Instead of navigating your way around a flat cityscape, you'll be flying passengers through the skies of a futuristic city, but only through levels 600 through 650 for some reason, and trust me, the game does not like when you deviate from your assigned district and is sure to let you know when you do. The rules of gameplay are easy to pick up if you've ever played a game like Crazy Taxi or Taxi Chaos. If you've never played any similar titles, or if you're a little intimidated by the aerial aspect of this one, there is a built-in tutorial to teach you how to navigate the skies of this city, but I assure you it controls exactly as you would expect it to. Once you've acquainted yourself with the mechanics, it's back to the game's starting screen where you can choose your driver and your difficulty, either easy or normal, and then choose a game mode. You have your standard gameplay mode where you'll be picking up an assortment of passengers and delivering them to their requested destination for a cash and time reward. You also get a free roam mode made for exploring the city and learning shortcuts without any real challenge. Finally, you have a sequential or challenge mode where you have to pick up and deliver passengers in a particular order. At the end of your run in both the standard and sequential mode, you'll get a summary of your performance where you can also check out the leaderboards. This is all well and good. MiLE High Taxi is rather bare bones in that what you see is exactly what you get. There doesn't really seem to be a ton of incentive to continue playing other than placing higher on the leaderboards or just for the love of taxi-style arcade games. I did miss receiving my license ranking after each run, and I think the game could benefit from having some unlockables, hidden objects to find around the city, or even just some additional challenge-type modes to keep things interesting. Without these aspects, the game ends up falling a little flat for me. It's not a bad game, and it does try something new for the genre, but the question becomes whether the flying mechanic adds anything meaningful to the tried and true equation, and for me, it did not. If anything, I think the flying is often frustrating, and this is mostly because the city feels a little cramped and cluttered. The power-ups you receive in the game are usually speed boosts, and it almost feels impossible to use these speed boosts effectively because you're bound to hit a wall or miss a turn in a few short seconds. It's possible that I could keep playing and improving upon my time and maneuvering, but I could use a little more built-in incentive to do so. MiLE High Taxi is visually pleasant. The game is well detailed and the graphics are mostly smooth, though I definitely miss some of the name brands and fun location variety from Crazy Taxi here. Don't get me wrong, I know it's not going to be possible for a solo dev to feature KFC in their game, but I think giving some meaning to the passenger stops, like, hey, take me to generic fried chicken restaurant instead of just a vague spot on the map, might actually help add a little bit of something here. The game also features a ton of billboards and signs with various pictures and memes, which can be a bit overwhelming and disorienting at times. Some of them are pretty funny if you manage to waste enough time in your run to read them, though, I will say. In fact, overwhelming and disorienting is kind of a theme of this game's presentation, as I would often find myself with the screen flashing red due to flying too high or too low, while the taxi's AI scolded me, a passenger shouted at me, my driver defended themselves, the dispatcher is telling me I've got a power-up, and some pedestrians with a few choice words are yelling at me, all at the same time. It can be a lot to take in sometimes. My game did crash a few times, but thankfully never during a run, so while annoying, not a deal breaker at the very least. Then there's the music. MiLE High Taxi really tries to replicate the magic that The Offspring brings to the Crazy Taxi franchise with most of their tracks. These songs are alright, not inherently bad, just quite repetitive and not something I would find myself listening to outside of gameplay. They're designed to capture that fast-paced, single-run, arcadey feel, and they do a decent job of that. There is a bit more variety than just the Offspring knockoffs to this soundtrack, however, and you also get a cool lo-fi electronic track that I actually ended up liking a lot more than the not Offspring ones. I think that style of music fits the landscape and overall vibe of the game a lot better. If there was a way to put that track on repeat, I definitely would have. 𝐼LE HiGH Taxi is sure to appeal to crazy taxi fans looking for something a little bit different from their arcade favorite. I think with a few tweaks like adding more definitive and recognizable destination points, license grades at the end of runs, and some more challenge modes to keep things fresh, it could be even better. For now, it is fun for a few runs at a time, but then loses acceleration a bit for me. If you've been playing along with my taxi drinking game, it is now time to seek medical attention as you've taken 17 shots. Please don't drink and drive unless you're playing this game.
First. It's disgusting down here. The hardest thing to do. Waiting is the hardest thing to do. Next time, I'm taking Johnny Cab. Hardest thing to do.